2, 1.
So Outrageous is a series about the Mitfords, primarily focusing on the 6 Mitford sisters. The Mitfords were a family who were around 20s, 30s, 40s. We see them in the midst of the 1930s with the gathering storms of the Second World War.
The Mitfords were considered the kind of socialites of the 1930s.
They're kind of like, I think, the Kardashians of the time.
They were like the town gossip, like everybody wanted to know where they were going, what they were doing.
Whenever they went anywhere, it was paparazzi, it was press, it was reported on in the Tatler of the day.
They were sort of insanely well connected.
They just knew everybody there was to know in the 20th century. Across the 6 of them, it was extraordinary.
These 6 women were so incredibly unconventional.
They just threw the rulebook out the window.
I feel they were probably very ahead of their time due to the sense that they didn't want to conform to what being a woman meant.
Now you have to start thinking of yourselves as women. As wives, as housekeepers, as mothers. It's all incredibly important roles. Roles you were made for.
They all did things that really bucked the trend of what was expected of them.
Can't think of anything worse than having to marry one of that lot. You're right.
The more you read about them, the more you want to know, like you just can't get enough. People are just fascinated by them.
What makes them fascinating is their political leanings and how,
despite having differing views, there's still a sense of loyalty and
common ground in a way.
Common ground.
What makes them love each other, what drives them apart, the rivalries.
they had a finger on the pulse of politics in the 1930s, which you could never recreate today.
In a way, being very extreme, joining the Nazi Party or joining the Communist Party, it's coming from the same sort of rabid, hungry, obsessive, idealistic, committed.
Poses the same question of whether politics should come in between relationships or families or sisterhood. And
how a rapidly changing world can pull at the threads of what holds a family together.
I think we should all be entitled to express our opinions in this family.
In that case, you may be excused from the table.
All I am asking...
Leave the table! There's so much frivolity in obviously, because you've just come out of the First World War. So, the youngsters who hadn't served, they were just desperate to push that behind them. Well, that, of course, is where the great drama often happens in our family, is the struggle between them, or particularly him, and this emerging, very bright, very smart generation of kids.
It's entirely relevant to most people who have got a family, and it really explores the dynamic within a family.
How politics can go from sort of dining room arguments that all seem in good spirits to actual world-shattering events, as we all know.
So, name? Mitford. Unity, Valkyrie, Mitford.
Almost 100 years later, you can see we're sort of passing through a similar moment. People are being drawn to extremes and families are being torn apart now in the same way. There's a lot to be learned from this story.
Understanding why things happened might help us understand why they're happening again. You can't see where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from.
very quintessentially British. The 1930s English countryside is quite an iconic trope. There's something that sort of condenses the kind of British culture that exists quite nicely in the stories that we tell about 1930s England.
This isn't like other period shows you've seen. It's got a wild, unruly spirit which reflects our 6 main characters.
These women didn't obey the rules. I think that could be appealing to see, you know, British women being naughty.
I think often you see period dramas and you're sort of held at arm's length. Something we really wanted was that it feels like you're sat at the table with this family, with these sisters.
Our writer writes these women like they could be women that you met yesterday. How distinct each of the women have been drawn is unlike anything you would normally find in your kind of regular period drama.
Here I am, living at home, penniless, and still a virgin at 28. I mean, it's grotesque.
I hope audiences will see themselves in this story. These are real characters with real experiences. I think that's what makes them feel modern and interesting as protagonists for the show.
Oh, how grown up she looks.
She looks like a fascist.
I think it's kind of quite an unbelievable story.
It's a story that you just could not invent.
You would think it was fiction. It is stranger than fiction.
Why doesn't this show already exist?
It's propulsive, it's quite provocative, it's political.
It's got everything: sex, politics, elopements, bereavements, betrayals.
It's a sort of glamorous, scandalous-filled series about these sisters and what way they go in the world.